the internet is in chaos again. A casting announcement that should have been exciting has turned into a storm of backlash. Ali Larter, best known for her roles in Heroes and Final Destination, has just joined the cast of Landman, a major new series from Paramount Plus. But instead of applause, the announcement triggered a wave of criticism. Fans are questioning the choice, calling it outdated, uninspired, and even tone-deaf. But one person isn't having any of it: Billy Bob Thornton. And he's not staying silent. Landman is one of the most anticipated series coming to Paramount Plus. It's a gritty modern-day drama set deep in the oil fields of West Texas. Think of it as a mix of Yellowstone and Friday Night Lights, with high-stakes business deals, family drama, and complex characters. The show explores the clash between tradition and ambition, wealth and struggle, and how the American dream looks through the lens of the energy industry. At the center of this story is Billy Bob Thornton. He plays Tommy Norris, a veteran oilman who's seen it all and has plenty of dirt under his fingernails. Thornton, who's known for his award-winning performances in Sling Blade, Goliath, and Fargo, brings a rugged authority to every role he takes. In Landman, he's the perfect fit, a tough, no-nonsense character shaped by a lifetime of hard choices. Joining the cast is Ali Larter, a familiar face from early 2000s cult hits. Many people remember her as the fearless, sometimes psychic, Nikki Sanders in Heroes, or as the smart, survival-minded Clear Rivers in the Final Destination franchise. Larter has always played strong female characters, but it's been a while since we've seen her in a leading TV role. That's what made her casting in Landman so interesting, at first. When Paramount Plus made the official announcement, fans were curious, excited even. But within hours, social media turned sour. Twitter threads, Instagram comments, Reddit discussions, all started criticizing the choice. People began questioning Larter's range, her relevance, and whether she was the right fit for a modern West Texas drama. Some fans said her acting style was too clean, or Hollywood, for a series that's supposed to be raw and grounded. Others said her past roles don't match the kind of woman who'd thrive in the rugged world of oil rigs and corporate power plays. A few even went as far as calling the casting lazy, accusing the showrunners of recycling old names instead of giving newer talent a chance. Now, in today's entertainment world, backlash like this isn't new. The internet is quick to judge, especially when it comes to beloved franchises or high-stakes productions. But this time, it wasn't just background noise. The volume kept rising. Entertainment blogs started picking it up. YouTube commentators jumped in. And fans who were excited for Landman began to hesitate. And that's when Billy Bob Thornton stepped in. The Oscar-winning actor, who's known for being brutally honest and never sugarcoating his words, decided he wasn't going to stay quiet, while his co-star got dragged online. In a recent interview, when asked about the backlash surrounding Ali Larter's casting, he didn't hold back. He made it clear that the criticism didn't bother him, and that people needed to give her a chance before jumping to conclusions. But more on that in the next section. Before we get into Thornton's response, let's take a step back. Why does this kind of backlash happen? And why did it hit Ali Larter so hard? Well, some of it comes down to timing. Over the past few years, audiences have become more vocal about casting decisions. Whether it's about diversity, representation, or just plain fit for the role, fans want casting that feels authentic. That's not necessarily a bad thing. After all, viewers care more than ever. But sometimes, that passion crosses the line into unfair judgment. Ali Larter hasn't been in the spotlight in a major way for a while, and some viewers seem to think that means she's out of touch or past her prime. But isn't that the exact kind of thinking Hollywood needs to move away from? Talent doesn't expire. And judging a performer before they even get a chance to prove themselves, that's not fair by any standard. Also, we have to talk about genre expectations. Because Landman is being compared to shows like Yellowstone, people expect a certain kind of grit. They expect actors who look and feel like they've lived hard lives, made tough choices, and carry that weight on screen. To some fans, Ali Larter doesn't fit that mold. But what if that's the point? What if Landman is trying to show us a different kind of strength? A woman who may not be rough around the edges, but brings firepower in a different way, in a boardroom, in a negotiation, in the way she holds her ground in a male-dominated world. It's easy to forget that actors are just that, actors. They can transform, they can surprise us, and according to Billy Bob Thornton, that's exactly what Ali Larter is about to do. When Paramount Plus made the casting official, it should have been a straightforward announcement, just another exciting addition to an already strong lineup. But instead, it lit a fire online. Within hours of the news breaking, social media lit up, and not in a good way. Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, even Facebook comment threads, all were flooded with heated reactions. The most common complaint? People just didn't think Ali Larter was the right fit for Landman. But what does that actually mean? Let's break it down. On Twitter, users were blunt. Some accused the show of playing it safe by hiring a familiar name instead of taking a risk on a new face. One post read, Ali Larter? Really? This show had potential, and now they're already making lazy choices. Another said, she hasn't been relevant since Heroes. This is the kind of casting that sinks a show before it starts. Over on Reddit, fans of drama-heavy shows like Yellowstone, Mayor of Kingstown, and Ozark were even more vocal. A thread in the TV subreddit questioned whether Larter could handle the grit required for a show set in the oil fields of Texas. One comment with hundreds of upvotes read, she looks like she belongs in a Hallmark movie, not an oil drama. Others chimed in, agreeing that she felt too polished, too mainstream, or just not believable, as someone involved in the rough-and-tumble world the show is supposed to explore. Instagram had a slightly different tone, but the criticism was still loud. On the official Landman announcement post, some users left supportive comments, but many pushed back. Ali Larter, that's the best you could do? One user asked. Another wrote, she's too clean-cut for this role. Give us someone like Michelle Monaghan or Carla Gugino, someone with edge. Of course, not all the criticism was purely about looks or presence. Some fans dug deeper, pointing to what they saw as a lack of recent, high-profile work. She hasn't carried a major role in over a decade, one comment pointed out. This feels more like nostalgia casting than actual thoughtful character building. Even entertainment news outlets started to take notice. Several online articles compiled fan reactions and asked whether Larter's casting was a misstep. Headlines like, Ali Larter cast in Landman, fans are not impressed. And can she handle the heat, began to circulate. The backlash, once confined to social media, started creeping into the mainstream entertainment conversation. So, what was really going on here? At the heart of it, the criticism seemed to come from one key idea. Fans didn't believe she could pull off a role in a show that's supposed to feel real, rugged, and raw. They saw Larter as someone associated with glossy, stylized roles from the early 2000s, characters in supernatural thrillers or high school dramas, not someone knee-deep in oil deals and corporate warfare. But here's the thing. Most of those fans didn't consider. They hadn't even seen her performance yet. The backlash was all based on assumptions. People judged her based on her past roles, her red carpet image, and the fact that she hadn't been front and center in a major drama series for a while. But no one had seen a trailer, no one had read a script, no one knew what her character was like, or how she planned to bring that role to life. It's also important to consider the double standard here. Male actors often disappear from the spotlight for years and come back to applause when they land a strong role. But when a woman, like Ali Larter, returns to a big project, the reaction isn't always so welcoming. There's a tendency to judge more harshly, to expect her to prove herself again, even if she's already done that in previous roles. In fact, if you look at Larter's career, you'll see she's no stranger to playing strong, capable, resilient characters. In Final Destination, she was the last one standing, fighting fate itself. In Heroes, she played not one but multiple personalities, balancing complexity, danger, and emotional depth. She has the range, whether people remember it or not. But when the court of public opinion speaks, especially online, it's hard to ignore. And Landman became the latest show to experience the sting of early judgment before it even aired a single episode. The noise grew loud enough that it reached the cast. Interviews started to include questions about the backlash. Headlines began shifting from Ali Larter joins Landman to Landman star defends co-star against online hate. And that's when Billy Bob Thornton decided to respond. He didn't do it with a tweet. He didn't write a carefully crafted PR statement. He just spoke plainly, like he always does. He told the truth as he saw it, and he made it clear he's not just okay with Ali Larter being in Landman, he's standing by her. In the next section, we'll break down exactly what Thornton said and why his words are making fans take a second look. When the backlash reached a boiling point, the spotlight shifted from Ali Larter to Billy Bob Thornton. Fans and reporters alike were curious. Would the show's lead actor address the criticism? Would he stay silent and let the controversy simmer, or step in and say something? He chose the latter. And when Billy Bob Thornton speaks, people listen. In a sit-down interview during an industry event, Thornton was asked directly about the controversy surrounding Ali Larter's casting in Landman. His answer was clear, confident, and just a little bit fiery. Exactly what you'd expect from a man who's built his entire career on no-nonsense authenticity. Thornton said, "People are talking like they've already seen the show. They haven't. They haven't seen one frame of her performance. And when they do, I think they're going to eat their words." That wasn't just a casual defense. It was a direct challenge to the critics. He didn't stop there. Thornton went on to talk about Ali Larter's professionalism, her commitment to the role, and the kind of work she's been putting in behind the scenes. He mentioned how prepared she was when she showed up on set, how deeply she understood her character, how she brought a different kind of strength to the series, one that viewers might not expect, but that the show absolutely needs. Thornton added, "Ali's not trying to be something she's not. She's bringing something real to this role, something honest. That's what this show is about." It's worth paying attention to what he's saying here, not just because he's a respected actor, but because he's someone who's been on both sides of the Hollywood machine. Thornton has had his own share of critics. He's been underestimated, misunderstood, and even mocked. But he's proved time and again that talent doesn't always follow trends, and that a great performance can come from someone people wrote off too soon. In a way, his defense of Larter felt personal, like he was speaking from experience, and maybe that's why it hit so hard. There's also something to be said about how rare it is these days to see actors publicly defending their co-stars with no PR filter. Thornton didn't just say, "She's great." He backed it up. He gave fans a reason to pause, take a breath, and maybe wait before they cast their final judgment. And that's what this comes down to. The rush to judge before the story has even started. We live in a world where entertainment news spreads fast, and reactions spread even faster. A single casting announcement can trigger thousands of opinions in a matter of minutes. And often those opinions aren't based on fact, or even real concern. They're based on perception, on bias, on old narratives that maybe need to be challenged. Ali Larter may not be the name people expected, but maybe that's exactly why she's the right choice. Landman isn't just about oil and industry. It's about characters who surprise you, who don't fit the mold, who defy expectations. And if Billy Bob Thornton is willing to put his name and his reputation on the line for her, maybe it's time we give her a chance to prove why. So here's the question we'll leave you with. What if we waited to judge until after the performance? What if we let actors do what they do best, transform, challenge us, and maybe even change our minds? Whether you're on board with the casting or still skeptical, one thing's for sure. When Landman premieres, all eyes will be on Ali Larter. And this time, the audience will be watching a little more closely, not to criticize, but to see if Billy Bob was right. And if he is, the haters might owe her an apology.